Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langhayate girim, yatkripa tamaham vande paramananda madhavam, sthapakaya cha dharmasya, sarva dharmaswarupine, avatara varisthaya, ramakrishnaya te namaha, ratnakara dhautapadam, himalaya kiritinim, brahmarajarshi ratnadhyam, vande bharatamataram, sadashiva samarambham, shankaracharya madhyamam, asmadacharya paryantam, vande guru paramparam. Welcome everyone to this unique course called Stories from the Upanishads, Lessons for a Meaningful Life. We are on the 8th day. We have come halfway in our 15-day course and we have seen wonderful lessons from wonderful stories. Today we have come with a new story from the Taittariya Upanishad, 3rd chapter. There the chapter is called Valli. So the chapter name is Bhrigu Valli. When I say Bhrigu, you all may be remembering many Puranic stories where Bhrigu tries to go and test who is the great of Trimurtis, whether it is Brahma or Shiva or Vishnu. We have seen that story. And not just that, we all know one more famous Puranic story, which is the Daksha Yajna, where Daksha performs a great yajna to humiliate Shiva. Didn't invite him, invited all other gods, all other demigods, all other Gandharvas, everyone, but Shiva was not invited. Why? Shiva became a son-in-law for him by marrying Sati, who was his daughter. He was not happy with that. That's why he wanted to humiliate Shiva, and that's why he didn't invite Sati or Shiva. Sati, knowing her father, she wanted to go and attend to the yajna. Shiva told, no, without invitation we should not go. And this yajna is not a sattvic yajna where it is doing for a well-being of the world. But Daksha Prajapati, who has to take care of the whole world, he is doing this yajna only to mock at me, only to humiliate me. Please don't go. But Sati, being adamant, who had so much of love towards her father, she told, I am going. Whether you come or not, I am going to go to the yajna. Please leave me. Shiva told, okay, you go. And Shiva sent few more Shiva Ganas along with her to take care of her. Sati goes to the yajna. Everyone speaks to her. Her mother, her sisters, all other gods, demigods, everyone. But Daksha didn't even see her. Even if he sees, he didn't even look at her eyes, didn't even speak to her. She goes and starts speaking to him, but he humiliates her also, saying, you are the wife of that Shiva who stays in Smashana, in the cremation ground, who doesn't have wear even a proper clothes. He starts humiliating him like anything and feeling very bad, feeling very humiliated. She goes and jumps onto the yajna, making it as impure. And when she falls onto the yajna Homakunda, she gets burnt and she was buried into ashes. Looking at this, the Shiva Ganas became very angry. They started fighting against them. And there was one Ritvija, the Pandit, who is called as Bhrigu. He, with his power, psychic powers, the mantras, the power using his mantras, he created his own army and asked them to fight against these Shiva Ganas. And Shiva Ganas were defeated and they were sent back. Coming to know the fact, Shiva became very angry. He took his one hair and sent it as Veerabhadra, and he goes and destroys the whole yajna, including Daksha, and killing Bhrigu Maharshi. And later Daksha was given one more a head of a goat, meaning his ego was killed. That is the meaning, the symbolic meaning. Why this story I told is because when I say Bhrigu, you remember these Bhrigu. This Bhrigu who tested the Trimurtis, or who was a person who took care of the Mahayajna that was done by Daksha. But here Taittariya Upanishad speaks about Bhrigu, who is a reincarnation of the same Bhrigu who had done those things. That's why the Upanishad starts Bhrigurvai Varunihi, meaning Bhrigu Varuni, meaning the son of Varuna. Bhrigu now has taken birth as the son of Varuna. Just like Dasharatha's son Rama is called as Dasharathi, Bhrigu, being the son of Varuna, is called as Varuni. So Bhrigurvai Varunihi. Now, what he did? Varuna, we all know, is a god. He was a great teacher who was teaching his students, disciples, with all kinds of rituals, all kinds of meditation, and all the knowledge that they require. Bhrigu has also learnt a lot of things, but because of the previous samskaras and previous janma, he knows much more than all these disciples. That's why one day comes to his father. One day comes and meets his father. What's special in meeting his father? Everyone meets their father regularly. But today, he has not come to have a conversation, a chit chat, not a casual way of coming. He comes and he says, Adhihi Bhagavo Brahma, meaning he addressed his father as Bhagavan. He addressed his father as Bhagavan, meaning with more respect, more reverence than any other day. And we all know, whenever our children comes with more love and more respect, the father generally asks, okay, tell me, what do you want? Why are you coming with so much of love? The same thing Varuna asked. Today you are sounding with more respect, more love. I know you have great respect, but today it is increased to a great level. Why? What happened? What do you want? Directly, he comes in front of Varuna. In his hand, Samit is there. Samit means a dry stick, symbolizing I am ready for knowledge. We all know a dry stick, if we just use a kindle a little fire on it, it gets burnt and it is ready to get into ashes. Now he is telling, my heart is ready for learning. Please kindle the light of knowledge. Kindle the light of knowledge. Till that time, Varuna was taking the role of father. But when he saw the son coming with the dry stick in his hand and he addressed him as Bhagavan, Varuna transformed himself into his position of Guru and said, okay, tell me what do you want? Tell me what do you want? Adhihi Bhagavo Brahma, meaning I want knowledge. Then Varuna asked, you know a lot of things. Because of your previous janma also you know many rituals which many people doesn't even have heard about. You know many meditation techniques. What do you want? What else do you want? Then he says, Brahma. I want to know Brahman. I want to get the knowledge of Brahman. There is no second thing. He tells, Bhrigu says, you have lot of disciples who come and ask you many things, but I am not here to come and ask any other thing. I am asking you one particular thing which can liberate a person from this samsara, and that is Brahma Vidya. Teach me Brahman. Teach me Brahman. Varuna was very happy that his son has come to him to know the highest, but he wanted to know whether he is qualified. So then he asked, why do you want to know Brahman? Then he says, the whole problem of life is ignorance of self. And just like to remove darkness we require light, to remove ignorance there is only one medicine, that is not ritual, that is not meditation, that is only knowledge. Darkness, light is the antidote. Ignorance, knowledge is the antidote. So I want to have the knowledge about my own self, the true self knowledge I want. Then Bhrigu understood. He has understood the problem. He knows what the solution is. He requires one channel who can operate that solution. Just like when a person has got some disease, he knows what disease it. He knows what surgery also he has to go through. But a surgeon is required to take them through the process. Varuna accepts. He understands the son and he says, who else can be such qualified? You are my Priya, means the dearest. You are my Shishya, the disciple. You are a Medhavi, meaning you are very intellectual. You are Shrotriya, you are well learned. Who else can get Brahmajnana? With all these qualifications, you need to acquire it. Now I am going to give you the Brahmajnana. Listen to it. Bhrigu was attentively listening to what Varuna is going to say. But what Varuna said, he didn't give a sermon. He didn't give a lecture like what we are giving for hours together. He just told two statements. Two statements. What are those two statements? One for the individual, one for the whole cosmos. The first statement for the individual, he told, Annam pranam chakshushrotram mano vachamite. 6 words, 6 clues to know who you are. 6 clues to know who you are. Annam means the physical body. Pranam meaning the energy. Pranamaya kosha. Anna means annamaya kosha. Prana means pranamaya kosha. Mano, Here means Vijnanamaya Kosha, Chakshush, Shrotram, meaning the Manomaya Kosha, and Anandamaya Kosha, we can add it. So he told the 5 koshas that has to be inquired. This is the first statement with 6 clues he gave. And Bhrigu thought about it and he was going for the inquiry, but Varuna told, wait, I am going to give you one more statement. What is it? Eto va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayantyabhisamvishanti tad brahmeti. I am going to give you the definition of Brahman. What is Brahman? At the cosmic level, from which the whole world has come into existence, from which the whole world is sustained, and in which the whole world will be resolved. Know that as Brahman. Meaning, the creator, the sustainer, and the resolver of the whole universe, know that to be Brahman. And when he said it, he mentioned yataha, meaning it is not a person, it is principle. Many a times when we think, oh, that means the Vishnu, that means Shiva, that means Devi. No, here he says yato, it is Brahman. It is not any formed God he is mentioning. He is speaking about a principle. Getting 2 definitions of Brahman, he asked, okay, you have given me the definition. What should I do? Varuna told, tad vijijñāsasva, jijñāsasva, meaning go and inquire, do tapas, tadhi tapaha, do tapasa brahma vijijñāsasva. By tapas, you inquire. Tapas here doesn't mean sitting in meditation and just knowing, looking at our breath. Not of these kinds. Here tapas means inquiry. Thinking logically, rationally, analyzing what is happening around the world, analyzing your own self. And on what basis? With the basis of 2 statements he has got. One is about the individual self and the other is about the whole creation. Go and inquire. Bhrigu, being a competent student, well-informed student, he goes for the inquiry. He goes and sits, starts inquiring. First he starts with the cosmic world because he sees the whole world. From where this whole world came? This is the material world, and we all know all these came from the Panchabhutas, the 5 basic elements. And he understood all these creation is because of the 5 basic elements. And all objects, whether you consider a pencil or a pen or a book, anything you consider, all are because of what? It has originated because of the Panchabhutas, the 5 elements. It is sustained because the Panchabhutas are there. Even after destruction, where it goes to the Panchabhutas. So he understood Annamaya Kosha, meaning the external world is because of the matter. And he directly understands, yes, I got to know Brahman. Today I have got it. But while analyzing, he got a doubt. Is this Brahman? Is this the whole cause? The root cause for the whole world? He got a little doubt. Then, when he got a doubt, he didn't want to sit quiet. He directly went to his teacher come father. He directly went to Guru, that is Varuna, and asked, Father, I have understood what Brahman is, but I don't know whether it is right. Please tell me whether it is right. Varuna asked, what have you understood? I have understood the matter as the principle from which the whole world is originated, in which the whole world is resided, and in which the whole world is going to resolve. Is this correct? Have I understood Brahman? Varuna smiled and told, you are in the right direction. You are in the right direction. Then Bhrigu understood, that means I am in the right direction. I have not reached the end. Then what is the end? Tell me what is Brahman. Varuna told, I have nothing more to say. Same. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayantyabhisamvishanti tad vijijñāsasva tad brahmeti. Go and inquire about Brahman by inquiry, self-introspection and the cosmic analysis. Go and do that. Taking the 2 things that I have given. The same 2 statements, go and analyze. Then again Bhrigu goes, inquires. Months passed away, years passed away, and while analyzing the whole world, now he understood one more subtler aspect. The whole world of matter is because of the energy behind it. Energy behind it. The whole energy has transformed itself into matter. That is the reason the whole matter has come. And we all know, because of the Einstein theory, E equals mc square. Energy can be converted into mass, and mass can be converted into energy. Mass is gross. Energy is subtle. So he has understood the subtle element today. And knowing the Brahman, because the matter has arisen or created because of energy, and the matter is sustained because of the energy, and even if we destroy matter, what it happens? It goes back to energy form. It's just, we cannot destroy, we can just change the form. So he has understood prana. Here means energy. And with that understanding, he thinks again, analyzes, and he feels, I'm getting some doubt. This is a cause, I understand, but is this the root cause? He goes back to his guru and father, Varuna, and says, I have understood Brahman, but I don't know whether it is right. Please tell me whether I am right. What is it? Energy. Varuna again says, you are in the right path. You are in the right direction. Go further. Go further. That means there is something forward, there is something even more beyond it. Varuna says, yes. Then tell me, what is it? I don't have anything more to teach. I have already taught you 2 things. Go and inquire. Go and inquire about the nature of yourself. Go and inquire the nature about the cosmic reality. He goes back and again introspects, again does analysis of the whole creation, and then comes the whole matter and energy is because of the subtle matter. Even energy is because of the subtle matter. If today, if I have to use the scientific ways of dealing with it, they may say the fundamental 4 forces, the weak force, the strong force, the electromagnetic force, and the gravitational force, they are fundamental, and they are the reason even before Big Bang that was there, the 4 fundamental forces. And these are called as the subtlest form of matter. So thinking that, he comes forward, he comes and says to his father, is my understanding correct? Mano brahmeti vyajanat. Father says the same answer again. Go and inquire further. He goes back, again inquires further, and thinks, even to come, even for the subtlest matter to arise, there should be a cause in a potential form, in potency. If I have to give an example, the whole banyan tree is in potential form in a seed. The curd is in potential form in milk. In similar way, if subtle matter has to come, it has to come from a cause. That is the causal matter. So he understands it in his in his intellect and reasoning. He goes back to his father and says, is my understanding correct? The whole world is because of the causal matter. Father says, you're almost there. Go and inquire further. With the same teaching. He goes back, starts inquiring, and doesn't come back. Months pass by, years pass by. Varuna feels, my son used to come every 3 months, 6 months once, but this time he has not come even after many years. What happened? Has he left his inquiry? But he is not such a student. So Varuna goes in search of his son, Bhrigu, and sees him in bliss. In bliss. And he asks, did you understand what you wanted to know? He says, I have understood. And what is it? He says, Anando Brahmeti Vyajanat. Here Ananda means Ananta, infinite existence, consciousness, bliss. This is Brahman, is what I have understood. I didn't get any doubt, so I didn't even come to even get validation or certification. This is what even Mundaka Upanishad says, Chidyante Hridaya Samshayaha, Vidyante Hridaya Grantivihi, Kshiyante Chasya Karmani, Tasmin Drishte Paravare. Whoever knows will not have any doubt. This time, knowing the reality, Bhrigu didn't have any doubt. And Varuna says, what you have understood is correct. And I'm very happy that today you have understood this knowledge. From today, this knowledge is called as Saisha Bhargavi Varuni Vidya. The Vidya that he got, though it was instructed by his Guru, it got the name of the Shishya. Bhrugurvai Varunihi. Saisha Bhargavi Varuni Vidya. And this is the end of the story which comes in the Bhrigu of the Taittariya Upanishads, 3rd chapter. How beautiful the story goes. But there are a lot of learnings. I didn't go for the complete analysis of this teaching. It's a panchakoshaviveka, one at the cosmic level, one at the individual level. If I had to give a simple example to make you understand at the individual level, he thought about himself. How am I alive? From where I came? I came from the food that my parents had. How I am living with the food that I am having. What will I become after death? I become food for one more creature. So, food, annamaya is the cause, first level. Then, just imagine food is there in front of me, but or food is there in front of a dead body. Can it have food? No. Just because food is there, a person cannot live. What is required? Prana. Prana is required. Otherwise, the body cannot eat by itself. Initially, he thought himself to be the physical body. Now he is going deeper. Pranamaya kosha. So, without prana, body cannot survive. Body cannot function. So, prana is more subtler and can control body. This is the second level, pranamaya kosha. Third level, he understood, okay, there is food in front of me, there is prana, but I don't have mind to eat. I'm not in a mood to eat. I'm in a bad mood. And we all know the pranayama, the yogic techniques, we know prana can be controlled by mind. So he understood manomaya kosha being more subtler, more stronger, and can control even pranamaya kosha. So that is the third level. Then he inquired further. He thought, yes, there is food, there is prana, there is mind, I have a hunger to eat also, but the food that I am going to eat is not conducive for my health. Consider, I am a vegetarian and a non-veg is there in front of me. I am hungry, I want food. My mind is feeling to eat, but my intellect says don't eat. So, intellect can even control mind, emotions, and in turn it can control the prana, and in turn you can control the body. So vijnanamaya kosha. And all these things, why do you do? So that you will be happy, you will be comfortable, you will be at peace. Last one is anandamaya kosha. So the sakshi chaitanya atma is not annamaya kosha, not pranamaya kosha, the energy forces, not manomaya kosha, the emotions, not vijnanamaya kosha, the intellect, not even the anandamaya kosha, the bliss sheath. It is even the witness. It is even beyond that. And he understood as the chaitanya behind all these things. I just gave it as an example but the philosophy goes very deep. If you have to understand, you have to go through the Upanishad classes itself. So this is the story of Bhrigu and Varuna in Taittariya Upanishad. What we can learn from this story? The first and foremost, any great rishi, even the rishi like Bhrigu, where Krishna says in the Vibhuti Yoga, Maharshinam Bhriguraham. In Maharshis, I am Bhrigu. Such is the glory of Bhrigu Maharshi. Even he approaches Guru for Brahma Vidya. But what do we feel? I have a book. I have a translation. I can read and I can get Brahmanyana. No, you can become scholar. But to get Brahmanyana, you need to approach a Guru. You need to learn from the Guru. The intricacies of the knowledge you need to understand. Otherwise, it's just going to be an information. Second, Brahma Vidya will be taught only when it is asked. Though Bhrigu was a great student, Varuna didn't teach him when he didn't ask. He was there with him for almost 20, 30, 40, we do not know how many years, but he was not taught that. He was taught only when it was asked. And just because he asked, he was not taught. He was tested whether he had qualifications. How? By knowing what he has understood about Brahma Vidya, what is the problem of samsara. He knows what he knows what is the solution, he knows what is samsara. When Varuna understood Bhrigu as a competent and informed student, then and then alone he was given the teaching. And how was the teaching? It was in a crypted form. Just like we all know in computers we use WinZip, zip files, where lot of information is zipped, and if you want to use it, you need to extract it. That's how Varuna gave this cryptic teaching of Brahma Vidya in just 2 sentences. And learning methodology, how? Bhrigu heard it, so Shravana was done. But mere Shravana, mere listening to a teacher cannot give you that. But you need to go through the next step of manana, inquiry, reasoning, logical analysis about the reality of yourself and the Jagat and the Ishvara. So that's how we all would have heard a great Subhashita, Acharyat Padamadatte, Padam Sab Brahmacharibhyaha, Padam Shishya Swamedhaya, Padam Kalakramena cha. Meaning there are 4 phases of learning. 1, 25% you can learn from the teacher. Whatever he teaches, it's just 25%. The next 25% you can have a group study, discussion, debates with your batchmates. The next 25% you need to use your introspection, your contemplation, your complete meditation on the subject. And last 25%, time alone and experience alone reveals that. This is what we saw here. Though there was no Saha Brahmacharibhya, because this is Atmavidya where you have to travel alone. Other 3 aspects we can see here. And teacher allowed the student to question any number of times. The student came and asked whether have I understood Brahman. 4 times he came and asked. Even if I have to consider the first one, 5 times he comes and asks, what is Brahman? I am not getting. Is this Brahman? Is this Brahman? He was asked, he was allowed to question. A great teacher always allows you to question. If any teacher says, don't question, then you have to consider whether he is a great guru or not. And whenever a student comes and answers, here the teacher never discouraged. He always encouraged and motivated. You are on the right path. Go further. Go further. If he had told what you are doing is wrong, Bhrigu wouldn't have done much more inquiry. So to motivate is to teach is to motivate, so that student can unravel the realities by himself or herself. Finally, the teacher appreciated by going to the student's place, understanding what he has understood and certifying that what you have understood is right. And finally, what happened? The teaching became popular under the name of the Shishya and not the teacher. That's how the teacher also became famous, Guru Varuna. So in that sense, let us understand all these concepts. Even these concepts are there in Bhagavad Gita. Indriyani paranyahu, indriyebhyah paramanaha, manasastu parabuddhihi, yo buddhev paratastutaha. Meaning the 5 koshas in sukshma, in a subtle form Krishna also gives. So let us understand these. Let us understand our own true self. Let us understand the reality of the whole world as one existence, consciousness, bliss, and become free. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.